this is totally not Danzig, and you're listening to the Shred Shack.
Greetings, folks. I'm Dan Mack.
And this is Chris Mack.
Welcoming you to episode 113. I thought we did 113 already.
You're asking the wrong dude.
Yeah, well, in some episode of the Shred Shack podcast.
One of these episodes.
Your premier source of news and uninformed yet heavily biased opinions pertaining to all things heavy metal. Airing bi-weekly on iTunes, Mixcloud, Google Play, as well as on YouTube at youtube.com/The Shred Shack and youtube.com/Adamant'sTemplum. Let's get started with some old business. I never get that old business button ready.
Old business is old business, and new business is new business.
We have a cat that's trying to...
Oh, he is so gorgeous, that cat.
Trying to get out of his business. Come here. He's a good kitty.
There you go. All right, anyway. So last time we had the podcast, we talked about how Steven Adler, former Guns N' Roses drummer, had accidentally stabbed himself. But a representative for him denied that the musician tried to kill himself. On Friday, June 28th, the day after he was hospitalized, his representatives told TMZ that the stabbing was not a suicide attempt. It was simply an accident. The rep would not specify what caused the accident except to describe it as a very minor, superficial wound. Adler, who the rep says has been sober for several years, is still planning to perform on July 12th at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas, which is actually tomorrow. So there you go.
But... I mean...
How do you accidentally stab yourself? I mean, it's not like he was cutting onions and slipped or something like that. I don't know.
Minor superficial wound doesn't sound like hospital-worthy. Like...
Right? There was like a 911 call or...
Yeah, a stab in the gut is definitely a hospital call.
Well, they tell you not to run with scissors. Maybe it might be the same with knives.
Maybe. I mean, this just sounds kind of...
There hasn't been much said after this, so I'm sure he's just fine.
Yeah. All right. So it goes.
All right. Well, according to The Blast, we talked about this a while back, how Vince Neil was suing his lawyers for kind of like padding the bill kind of thing.
Yep.
But since then, singer Vince Neil has been ordered to pay his former lawyers $170,000 after he accused them of overbilling him because he is famous. A judge has ordered the rocker to cough up $148,962.50 for fees and $21,207.06 in court costs for a grand total of $170,169.56.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
Backfiring plans.
Yes, sir.
It's like, pay me. No, you pay me. Okay.
Nice. And that would be it for old business.
So let's talk about some new business.
And this is new business, and we do not discuss new business until next quarter.
And with new business, we talk about new album releases, of which we have none.
None. It's finally been a quiet week. And I say that like reluctantly because like almost every week this year has had some kind of awesome release. So this is like the first time I haven't had to get something in the mail.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the new releases in a while, so I don't know if what came out this week at all.
You know what? That is a very good question. Let us find out what came out this week.
Well, while you do that, let's talk about what else we've been listening to instead of new releases.
I am actually just very curious. No, really, nothing much. The new Abath album came out last weekend.
Pete? Where you at, Pete?
Torelli Leone, Rep City.
I have to check that out.
Three Teeth.
Okay.
Band called Bullet is a live album. Oh, Ellefson, Dave Ellefson's solo album came out.
Cool.
The companion piece that we've been talking about to his new book. But that seems to be about it. This weekend, we got This Entomb, Oh Sleeper, and Suicide Silence. But really, it's all about next weekend, which I'll be talking about on the next podcast, is the new Sabaton record, The Great War, is coming out.
Gotcha.
So that would be very cool to check out. Alright, so what else have I been listening to? Let's go to albums of the day, which I accidentally closed out of somehow. That's silly. Okay. Whatever. This is so silly. Anyway, at the dang. Okay.
You trying to pull up your Instagram?
Yeah, and I'm
Failing miserably.
miserably. There you are. That was weird. All right. So I listened to. I'm going to pronounce this terribly, but I'm going to say Svent Kant. It's one of our upcoming S5 bands. Speaking of which, when are we doing that?
The fabled S5 episode.
Yeah, I was going to say this. We recorded this one a couple weeks ago, and it's like it's just kind of hanging out there.
It'll come. It'll come when I'm ready. It is the Chinese democracy of our episodes.
Nice. So there's that one. Another upcoming S5 band is Constantine. Actually, I think this is a solo record, but this one's cool because it has a lot of really good guest vocalists, including Speed from Soilwork.
Cool.
Always cool. Some instrumental prog from Phaeton. I believe that was the last posted episode of the S5 featured them, or was that the one we just recorded?
I don't remember.
Either way, S5 band, always good. And last but not least, on my albums of the day for the last 2 weeks is Rasputina, Cabin Fever. I love them.
I saw that and I was like, is that metal?
Well, they're right. I would say they're right up there with like Apocalyptica. They're a cello rock band, and I think at times they're heavier than Apocalyptica. So I would say so.
I'm not familiar with their stuff, so I wasn't sure.
Oh no, they're fantastic. They are fabulous. I love them. And other than that, the last Pat Gessner box of foam we got was a couple years ago, and I'm finally getting to go through it. And so far, there's only been one record of note, and it's from XDO, which I forget who is the guy who does that? Is that the guy from Cradle of Filth?
That's Cataclysm.
But it's his what's it called? Warrior metal band, I guess. It's because it's all about war. Ancient wars and stuff like that. Anyway, it's really, really good. But that's really the only thing that's been of note. Everything else has pretty much sucked. Like, there's been CDs where it's like I listen to like the first like 3 or 4 tracks. I'm like, nope.
Gotcha.
So, but that's about it, really.
I have been listening to random stuff on the iPod and the radio. I don't know what it is. In the last few days, it seems like once every half hour I hear a Guns N' Roses song. Like they're really padding out that Spotify list and
They're getting people hyped up for the ACL.
that and they're pumping up the numbers for their greatest hits album on the Billboard charts.
Oh yeah, for reals.
Yeah, because like it's ridiculous how much Guns N' Roses I've heard in the last few days. One thing I think I've already said this, but like, you know the station Jack FM.
Yeah.
Their whole mantra is we play what we want, and it's like I really like their playlists sometimes. Cause like it's really random and strange. Like they'll go from like Michael Jackson to Foghat to
what?
They played Foghat. They played Slow Ride.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's something you'd expect to hear on the Eagle on classic rock, but no.
That's pretty badass there.
They played Slow Ride.
You know what I love? When you randomly hear like a Deep Purple overhead, and it's usually the same song. and it's not Smoke on the Water. It's Highway Star, like all the time.
I rarely ever hear Highway Star.
Oh my gosh,
Smoke
I've
on
heard
the-
it like overhead in 3 different locations.
Really?
Yes, and one of them was the Magnolia Pancake House.
Really?
Yes, and the other one was HEB.
Really?
HEB has the best playlist, by the way, for classic rock. I'll tell you that right now.
What was I gonna say? Oh, there was a random song that I heard recently that I was like, wait, what? Shit, what was the song? It wasn't Deep Purple. Shit, I can't remember. But it was one of those songs that just comes out of nowhere and you're like, wait, what's going on?
Nice.
Where are we right now? When did I plug in my iPod? So, but yeah, I haven't really listened to anything particular in the last few weeks, just because it's been kind of like a busy. Either if it's not busy, it's been like quieter than quiet. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, let's move along to our normal sections. It looks like we don't have any obituaries.
Not in the metal category here, but unfortunately, Rip Torn has passed away.
Rip Torn, Ross Perot, and Vinnie Jones's wife
What?
all passed away.
I did not know about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Vinnie Jones. Attack cardio for everybody now.
Yeah. So all three of those were recent passing.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a shame.
We don't have any random cancer announcements.
No, thankfully.
Okay, so this episode's going off to a good start because the last episode, every single time I said something like that, you'd be like, "Well, actually."
Yeah. So far, so good. So maybe either keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And let things happen, or.
So let's go on to general news then.
All right. So in general news here, so it seems that Static X has taken a page out of the Manowar book here, because their show on June 30th at Levels in Sacramento and Scranton, Pennsylvania, was canceled. The show was part of the band's North American Trek, which celebrates the 20th anniversary of Wisconsin Death Trip album and pays homage to Wayne Static. They broke the news of the cancellation in a social media post, and they wrote, "We are very sorry to announce that the Static X show at Levels in Scranton, PA on 6/30/2019 has been canceled. This is an isolated incident resulting from a misunderstanding of the stage size at the venue and its ability to support the production associated with a tour of this size. We know that the fans in Scranton will be very disappointed, as are we. However, this USA tour is as much about memorializing Wayne's Stack as it is about anything else. If we are unable to project Wayne's face on the big screen for everyone to see and celebrate, it doesn't feel right. Again, we are very sorry that we will be unable to perform as scheduled, and we hope that we will be able to see the fans in Scranton, PA area sometime in the near future. Tickets will be refunded by the promoter. Anyone who purchased a meet and greet from the band will be refunded immediately. This is nobody's fault. It was an oversight and misunderstanding."
At least this was
More amicable and civil than the Manowar thing?
Yeah, and it was more of a it was more of a memorial thing.
Trying to make it more about Wayne than the band, instead of like, Manowar being like, we're fucking Manowar.
Yeah. At least there's a little bit more reasoning to this than that. So I mean, I hope they go back to the area and with it maybe to a bigger venue or something like that and play, but at least they were okay about it.
All right. The next one I think got accidentally cut, like copied and pasted, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with what's it called? Apocalyptica. Speaking of which, signed to a new deal with Silver Lining Music, and they are talking about the band's new all-instrumental album, which was recorded over a 3-month period at Sonic Pump Studios in Helsinki, and was mixed by Andrew Sheps, who's worked with Red Hot Chili Peppers, Lana Del Rey, Metallica, Black Sabbath, and an early 2020 release is expected.
Right on. It sounds like it's more like recording news.
I think I put in general news because of the signing.
Gotcha.
You know, I think that was the main point of the article, but again, it got somehow got cut. Anyway, Jackson has welcomed Volbeat guitarist Rob Caggiano to its family of signature artists. Throughout summer of 2019, sharp-eyed fans will see the Bronx-born guitarist putting prototypes of his distinctive new Jackson model through their paces at Slipknot's Knotfest Roadshow with Gojira and Behemoth, as well as Volbeat's upcoming Rewind, Replay, Rebound World Tour, which will kick off in Europe with support from Baroness and Danko Jones. Caggiano and Jackson will spend summer and fall honing the new instruments for an official debut in early 2020.
Right on.
On June 28th, CKY vocalist guitarist Chad Ginsberg vented a little bit on social media regarding the departure of bassist Matt Dees from their ranks earlier this month. While Dees seemed cordial in his exit statement, it would appear that his former bandmates were taken by surprise with the announcement. Ginsberg stated Chris Way of A Life Once Lost fame will be filling in on bass during the band's set at the Vans Warped Tour 25th anniversary show in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and then CKY will then head overseas as a duo for the European UK trek.
Really, a duo?
Right. I think in the beginning of his social media rant before he went off on this guy, he was saying they were recording backing tracks. So it's going to be Jesse and Chad with pre-recorded bass and second guitar tracks.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, way to trudge on.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
All right. Lamb of God drummer Chris Adler will join forces with Exodus vocalist Steve Zetrozuza, Violence ex-Machine Head guitarist Phil Demmel, and former Megadeth Black Label Society bassist James Lomenzo for a run of shows in Russia in October under the Hail banner. So far, one date has been leaked, October 19th, at the Rock House in Moscow. Now, it's of note here because Adler has not performed with Lamb of God for the past year because he has been undergoing physical and occupational therapy for injuries he sustained in a motorcycle accident in late 2017. Filling in for him is Art Cruz, who has previously played with Prong and Winds of Plague, and recently accompanied guitarist Mark Morton on his first ever solo tour. So there you go.
Right on.
Gwar will unveil a monument to the band's co-founder and longtime leader Dave Brockie on Friday, August 30th at 2 p.m. in Richmond, Virginia's famed Hollywood Cemetery. Here's an address, by the way, if you want to go. 412 South Cherry Street, Richmond, Virginia. All are invited to the unveiling and a free party the next day, August 31st, at Gwar Bar, which is located at 217 West Clay Street, Richmond, Virginia. The party will feature a performance by Rog, which is the greatest Gwar tribute band of all time.
Is it just Gwar?
Kind of reminds me of what was it? Oh my God.
I know KMFDM did the same thing.
KMFDM or Narkill from oh my God, why can't I remember the name of the movie? Haggard, yes. Where it was just CKY with that guy fronting them.
With Brandon fronting them, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
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 That was funny. Narkill.
Or, what's it called? Twisted Sister performing as Bent Brother.
Yes. That's fantastic. Or Metallica performing as anything other than Metallica. Like I think one of my favorite ones. I think they were called the Spastic Children at one point, and then they called themselves Dihan at their Orion Music Festival. And Dihan was the name of the actor who was in their movie, and they performed the whole Kill 'Em All record on like the second stage at their own show. I thought that was pretty badass.
Very nice.
Dihan, who the fuck's Dihan? All right, longtime Butcher Babies bassist Jason Klein has announced his departure from the band. He will play 2 final shows with Butcher Babies on August 1st at Gathering of the Juggalos in Springville, Indiana, and on August 3rd at Pain in the Grass in Auburn, Washington, before exiting the group to focus on being a full-time father to his 11-year-old daughter.
Bands aren't doing very well with bassists right now.
Because nobody cares for them. Bass is the foundation of the band. Alright, last but not least here, this is pretty badass. Murder in the Front Row, the San Francisco Bay Area thrash metal story, has received praise from Rolling Stone and Billboard on San Francisco. Has received praise from Rolling Stone and Billboard to San Francisco Chronicle and the Playlist. After premieres in San Francisco and London, the lauded documentary is headed on the road with screenings at Alamo Drafthouse cinemas across the country in August and September. There is a San Antonio date here on September 10th at the Park North Theater.
Yes, I saw that. I'm considering.
It's a Tuesday, unfortunately.
Never mind.
Yeah, I know. I looked it up immediately after I saw that.
Someone's got work the next day.
And someone's got work that night. Yeah. Fuckers. Like, you couldn't do it like the week I have vacation in September, you fucks.
Nope.
Fuck you.
Not for you.
Fuck you. Alright, well, that is it for general news.
Alright, so let's talk about our crime blotter.
Our crime blotter here. Eyehategod drummer Aaron Hill was robbed and assaulted prior to the band's scheduled performance in Guadalajara, Mexico, Sunday night, July 7th. According to Informador. I like that. That's great. Anyway, according to that website, the 35-year-old musician was attacked by 3 men and a woman not far from the Forum Independence, the venue where the band was slated to play. The assailants reportedly threatened Hill with a knife and left him with a 5-centimeter wound on his left side. He said to be doing fine, although he was unable to play the show. The concert's promoter, Show No Mercy Promotions, said on social media that the members of Eyehategod had, quote, a driver at their disposal, unquote, but given the close proximity of the group's hotel to the venue, Hill opted to walk.
Steven Adler called the next day.
Tell him it was an accident, dude.
No, but that sucks. Like, the no reason given or anything.
No. He was just robbed. He was probably stick up kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, you hear plenty around here about stolen equipment and stuff.
Right.
But like,
there was one that I think I missed out on reporting here. Is I think it was Mike Pike of High on Fire. Apparently had his very customized pedal board stolen by an airport security guy, or like a baggage check guy or something like that. It was something stupid, like ridiculous. Like, why? It was just, I don't know.
Why would you risk your job for that?
Right. All right. Are you ready for Metallica breaking shit?
I'm just imagining like an airport security guard opening up the suitcase and seeing the pedal board, and it being like any scene in Pulp Fiction with the fucking
the briefcase.
The briefcase. And then him just being like, "Oh, we happy," and just walking off with it.
I just kind of think about that scene every time anybody opens a briefcase. In all honesty,
are we happy? Oh, we happy.
Oh my gosh! I just recently watched Kingsman, both of them.
Yeah.
And I forget how much I loved Samuel L. Jackson in the first one.
Yeah.
He's so hilarious.
Yeah.
And yes, Elton John kicks all sorts of ass in the Golden Circle.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the best.
He stole the fucking movie. Anytime he told anyone to fuck off was gold. Fucking gold. Oh my god, it was amazing.
I think one of my favorite parts is when one of the robot dogs is going after Harry Hart.
Yes.
And he's about to like bite him, and then suddenly like you just see his like Elton John's face come into the screen like.
Hey. And the whole get up, oh my god. It was so good. And I love the fact that it's like, I'm a big fan of your music and all, but I really want to hear some Gershwin. Oh, so good. Okay. Anyway, Metallica's breaking some shit here. Alright, according to the music industry trade magazine Polestar, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Metallica, and Kiss were among the top-earning hard rock and metal tours of the 2019 mid-year reporting period, which covered a 6-month range from November 22nd, 2018 to May 22nd, 2019. So here are the grosses from select hard rock and metal artists. So we have Polestar's 2019 mid-year worldwide tours. Number 4 is Metallica, earning $69.7 million. Kiss is at number 7 with $58.1. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is at number 8 at $57.3. Roger Waters is at number 48 with $11.9. Disturbed 51 and 11. Aerosmith is at 62 with 9.2. Shinedown is at 75 with 8.1. And Def Leppard is at number 100 with $5.6 million. That's worldwide tours. They also have a mid-year North American tour list here. Kiss is at number 5 with 58.1. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is at number 6 with 57.3. Metallica is at number 12 with 41.7. Disturbed is at 35 at 10.6. Aerosmith at number 4 with 9.2. Roger Waters at 44 with 8.6. Shinedown's at 48, 8.1. Nine Inch Nails at number 74 with 4.8, and Greta Van Fleet. Oh wait, there's a few more after here. Greta Van Fleet's at number 80 at 4.5. Five Finger Death Punch and Breaking Benjamin at 4.4 is number 81, and number 96 is Bring Me the Horizon with $3.6 million North American tour.
I guess Disturbed has yet to go on a European tour.
I guess so.
Because 10.6 million to 11 million, like
they probably did some festivals across the way.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because I was gonna say like that should be a little bit more for them.
Do that, or like this is from November 22nd to May 22nd. So if anything, Disturbed is probably. I think Disturbed is across the pond right now, because I believe recently they were in Tel Aviv, Israel, where Dave Draymond performed the Israeli national anthem. So I believe they are across the pond now.
Right on.
And of course, Metallica's numbers are staggering in worldwide. Plus $20 million in across the pond there, because they spend more time over there, sons of bitches. Anyway, I digress. All right, so anyway, Forbes has released its 2019 ranking of the world's highest paid celebrities, and Metallica and Guns N' Roses are both made the list. Metallica, which didn't rank in 2018, took the number 21 spot this year with $65 million. Guns N' Roses also failed to make the list last year, but landed at number 71 in 2019 with $44 million. The annual Celebrity 100 ranks the world's highest paid celebrities in music, sports, and entertainment, according to what they made over the last 12 months. For those who are curious, Taylor Swift is still the highest paid celebrity in the world, earning $185 million over the past year. Just saying.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but I don't care because it's Taylor Swift. So
yeah,
I've actually finally heard full songs from Taylor Swift, and I don't like them.
You know what? I find myself not going out of my way to listen to her, but not going out of my way to not listen to her. I don't mind some songs, although there's this one that's just awful right now. It's like her newest single. It's terrible.
No, I can't get behind any of them.
Well, remember I listen to Top 40 when I'm driving for Uber, so
Yeah.
I listen to the same shit over and over again.
It's weird. Is I don't know why I've been listening to some modern radio for like not out of choice but out of situation, be it at work or at other work. It's at work.
Work.
Either job. And the song by Katy Perry, I Kissed a Girl.
Uh-huh.
I've heard that song so many times in the last week and a half that I never heard the full song before.
I was going to say, you've heard it more now than you heard it when it was popular.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what happened, but like just somehow I hear the song almost like every other day now. And I don't know why.
You know what's a shame is I listen to this one station here in town, and they keep playing the same shit. I feel bad. I don't feel bad, but I just think it sucks that they keep on playing the same old Lady Gaga song, Poker Face, when she has like newer stuff and better stuff.
Yeah.
It's just what the fuck.
That's another one that I never really heard the full song until recently. And I'm not actually crazy about it.
I'm not too crazy about any of her early stuff, like the stuff that made her popular to begin with, but the stuff that she's released after that, where she actually writes songs and plays piano and is like actual music, I think is far better. Anyway, so we have nothing for your favorite section here.
Nothing for feuding.
Nothing for feuding. Unfortunately, we have nothing for Alcoholica. But we do have some merchandising, and I have to say, by the way, I've watched Spaceballs more times in the last 3 weeks than I have in like the last 5 years, only because William is obsessed with the movie now.
That's cool.
He's obsessed with it. It's great. It's so awesome. And I also find it funny when you look back on what was considered PG at the time and what's considered PG now. Spaceballs is a PG movie. But there's an entire scene where I think the word asshole is used at least 20 times.
We ain't found shit.
Yeah. I mean, they dropped so many swear words in this one, of course, without the F-bomb. And, like, I think that's the reason why William likes it. It's because of all those swear words.
Yeah, there was a thing I saw recently that said Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, was PG-13, which technically means it should have one F-bomb in it. Where would you put it? And it had a whole bunch of options, like a whole bunch of little things about where you could possibly put it. And it was like, fine then, fuck your secrets. I have no fucking memory of this place. This place is old as fuck.
Fly, you fucks!
So it had a whole bunch like that.
No.
And I'm laughing my ass off.
Return of the King. He turns around for fucking Frodo.
You can have my fucking axe.
My fucking precious. Oh, it gets better.
There's just all the possible places.
Oh my God, Treebeard, I'm no fucking tree.
All the possible places you could put one F-bomb.
Oh my God. Yes. Golly, that'd be fantastic.
All right, let's go on.
Oh, my fucking ent. All right, merchandising here. The popular vinyl collectible company Funko, best known for its big-headed pop figures, has reimagined Metallica guitarist Kirk Hammett as two Universal monsters, which is Frankenstein's monster and the creature from the Black Lagoon. The two limited figures, which are the first in the new Kirk Hammett collection, will be made available starting July 13th as part of Hammett's It's Alive classic horror and sci-fi art from the Kirk Hammett Collection horror movie exhibit at the Royal Ontario Museum in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Only 1,008 pieces of each figure will be made available as part of the exhibit, which features 90 works that provide insight into the evolution of horror and sci-fi films and how they have played upon contemporary societal fears. The exhibition features film posters as well as collectible electric guitars, monster masks, and sculptures. So pretty much this is Kirk Hammett's wife telling her to get that shit out of my house. Alright, a Pantera Vulgar Display of Power 3D Vinyl Limited Edition is available now for pre-order. Officially licensed, each is hand-painted, numbered, and comes with a certificate of authenticity printed on the back. Created to capture some of the most iconic images in album art, this 3D vinyl is 12 inches tall and 12 inches wide, and is unique. And this unique collectible can be desk-mounted or wall-mounted. This edition is only going to be produced to number 1,992.
I guess the year it came out. I'm just imagining like a vinyl thing with a giant fist coming out of it to punch you in the face.
Pretty much, yeah. To recreate the album title cover all the time. Every day. All right. Are we ready to rock here? We got some recording news.
All right, let's do some recording news. Actually, before you go on, since we usually do crowdfunding tracker and I didn't do this in general news. There was an update on the release of A Sound of Thunder's new Blu-ray, and it turns out that their singer Nino was in a car accident.
It's there.
Oh, it's there. Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
It's there. I'm on top of things.
You're on top of things.
I'm on
okay.
top of things, but they have, as of from what I've seen, they haven't done a crowdfunder yet.
No, they haven't.
They haven't, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk about
it. Okay. So then we'll get to that.
I'm on top of shit.
Okay. We'll get to it.
That's why I do this.
Okay. I'll keep working on the S5.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Suicide Silence. Now, there's a long backstory to this recording here. They headlined a special benefit show in support of Mental Health America of Los Angeles at the Observatory in Santa Ana. The band has announced that the live recordings from the night will be released under the album Live and Mental on July 12th via Nuclear Blast, which is tomorrow. Live and Mental was produced by the band, while mixing was handled by Josh Gilbert, who has worked with Woven War and As I Lay Dying. Hosted by Sirius XM metal DJ Jose Mangan and co-presented as an Affliction Metal Night, the band brought together the community to raise funds for the Mental Health America of Los Angeles. The sold-out show raised nearly $17,000 towards the creation of a homeless health care center where people living on the streets with mental illness can come and get their needs met.
Right on.
Super cool. Baby Metal will release its third album, Metal Galaxy, on October 11th via Ear Music. The follow-up to 2016's Metal Resistance will reportedly include 4 singles that have been released over the course of the last few months: Papaya, Starlight, Distortion, and Elevator Girl.
I have heard none of those.
Neither have I. I've actually never heard a single one of their songs. I've just heard that they are very good. You know, despite like the whole niche thing they have going on here.
Yeah.
All right. Devin Townsend has announced that he's been in the studio overseeing a 5.1 surround sound mix of his latest album, Empath, at Armory Studios in Vancouver, British Columbia. That would be interesting to hear because there's always so much going on in his album. So
Yeah, imagining it in 5.1 surround sound.
Right. Prong is spending July in the studio with producer Chris Collier. I guess he's worked on their albums before, No Absolutes and 0 Days. Not particularly familiar with those, of course. Recording 2 tracks for a new EP to be released in the fall. The songs will be mixed by Terry Date, who has worked with them on The Cleansing and Rude Awakening.
Right on.
Psychotic Waltz
There you go.
has signed to Inside Out Music for the worldwide release of its first new studio album in 23 years. Psychotic Waltz's fifth full-length disc will be recorded with engineer Ulrich Wild and will be mixed by Jens Bogren, who of course has worked with Opeth, Fates Warning, and Arch Enemy. An early 2020 release is expected. Re-releases of the entire Psychotic Waltz catalog will follow through Inside Out Music as well.
Well, I know we were talking about this recently because we were talking about Devin Graves, and I was wondering what he's been doing since Shadow Theory. I forgot that they reunited Psychotic Waltz. I thought it was just for a tour, but apparently it's for an album too.
First album in 23 years. That's badass.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah. It's another album for me to pick up.
Yes, sir. Visions of Atlantis will release a new album titled Wanderers on August 30th via Napalm Records.
Yeah.
2019 marks the 30th anniversary of the Cult's seminal album Sonic Temple. To celebrate the anniversary, Beggars Archive, spelled Arkive, will release the Cult Sonic Temple 30 on September 13th. It will be released as a deluxe box set and a 5 CD set. Plus, the label will reissue Sonic Temple on double LP, which has been out of print for over 20 years. The sets both contain limited release demos in addition to previously unreleased tracks.
I still need to see this band live.
I need to listen to more Cult. I only have the one album.
They are quite good.
I just love Ian Astbury's voice.
Yeah.
And like it's just really good. And like when he was like fronting the Doors for a while there, it worked so well. So just the combination of that is just fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Hashtag they see me
no,
growling.
no.
Yes.
No.
They see me growling. Motherfucker.
You came up with that, didn't you?
You damn right I did.
I was gonna say if that's copy and paste, then whoever wrote it is fired.
I am not fired. I win. The puntastic adventures of me. Anyway, Foo Fighters, because Grohl and everything, have released a surprised live EP titled 00950025. The 3-song effort features elusive, quote-unquote, elusive live tracks, namely performances of For All the Cows and Watershed from the band's headline set at 1995's Reading Festival, as well as a live recording of Next Year from a 2000 concert in Melbourne, Australia.
For no reason at all, they just...
That's what they do. They just do stuff like that.
They should just release a full-length live thing from that time period.
I think they should release a fucking full-length record of the time that we saw them, because that concert was amazing.
I'm sure you can get a bootleg of it.
I'm sure, but still.
Cat, do not try it.
Oh, he's gonna try it. It was like, hey, what you doing?
Cats being cats.
Oh, go ahead, Edward. Go for it. He's really thinking about it.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. Motorhead guitarist Phil Campbell will release his debut solo album, Old Lions Still Roar, later this year via Nuclear Blast. The disc, which has been in the works for more than 5 years, will include guest performances by Rob Halford, Dee Snider, and Alice Cooper, among others. Other guest musicians that will reportedly appear on Old Lions Still Roar include Chris Fenn, who was in Slipknot, Benji Webb of Skindred, Matt Sorum of Guns N' Roses, and Whitfield Crane of Ugly Kid Joe.
That sounds pretty good.
Right? Ace Frehley will release Origins Volume 2, the sequel to his 2016 collection of cover songs that inspired the former Kiss guitarist, in October via Entertainment One. The disc, which will feature guest appearances by Lita Ford singing Jumpin' Jack Flash and Cheap Trick's Robin Zander singing Humble Pie's 30 Days in the Hole, is currently being mixed.
I wonder what the set list for that one's going to be like.
Right?
I mean, you got Jumpin' Jack Flash, so that's already...
And Humble Pie.
Well...
I'm not very familiar with Humble Pie, but,
yeah.
I mean,
But,
little Rolling Stones never hurt nobody.
exactly.
All right, Lacuna Coil will release their new album Black Anima on October 11th worldwide through Century Media Records.
Right on.
And it was also announced that the two singers of Lacuna Coil will be appearing at Looney Tunes on Long Island for a
Really?
signing. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. That's a pretty big grab for them.
I heard nothing about that, but that's awesome.
It was because it was funny. It wasn't just announced by Looney Tunes themselves. It was announced via the band's Facebook page and Century Media itself. If you guys, anybody who's a fan of our podcast who has not been to Looney Tunes Records, do yourselves a favor and get there. All right, ready?
Yep.
The Good That Men Do, and this is a total hashtag copy and paste. This is word for word. The ABCs of Metallica, an alphabetical history of one of rock's heaviest bands, Metallica, will be released on November 26th via Permuted Press. Featuring hard-rocking rhymes and bold illustrations, the ABCs of Metallica looks back at the remarkable history of one of rock and roll's most celebrated groups. Each letter of the alphabet highlights a significant moment along the band's journey, from their humble garage days to their numerous classic albums such as And Justice for All and Master of Puppets, to biographical information on the band members themselves. The book is co-authored by Howie Abrams, who has done the Merciless Book of Metal Lists and Hip Hop Alphabet, with illustrations by Michael Caves McLear, who participated in Metallica's Obey Your Master exhibit in 2012. A portion of the proceeds from the book will benefit Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation, which is dedicated to creating sustainable communities by supporting workforce education, the fight against hunger, and other critical local services. A is for Alcoholica, by the way.
I hope I'm just wondering what is going to be under F or P for fire or pyro.
And a picture of Metallica of James's like melted face.
Yeah. Just fire.
And C is definitely for Cliff Burton.
More than likely, yes.
Cliff Burton. All right. Now we do have a crowdfunding tracker. We'll go through the one that actually has a crowdfunding first. Australian metal musician and radio personality Lachlan Watt has been diagnosed with brain cancer and is undergoing treatment for it this year. Facing down 8 to 9 months of radiation chemotherapy after having already undergone surgery this spring, he will be left unable to work for some time, and the GoFundMe has been launched to help keep him afloat financially. In addition to running a label, hosting a heavy metal show on Triple J, and booking numerous heavy acts in his native Australia, Watts has fronted a bunch of heavy bands, most notably filling in for Thy Art Is Murder on tour during C.J. McMahon's exit from the group. Now, they have a goal of $50,000. Mm-hmm. So far, they have raised $25,609 in the last 10 days.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
Nope.
Not bad at all. Yeah, some of these donations have come in within the last 16 hours. Well, the most recent one being 49 minutes ago. So, it is up and running. All right, so I put this in as a temp entry. I was waiting for them to do the GoFundMe thing, but this is from the Sound of Thunder Facebook post. I just copied and pasted it, and it says Legion of Thunder. Nina was injured in a car crash the other day. Her car was hit by a bus, rolled over with her inside, and her pelvis was broken in 3 places. She is alert, online, and putting on a strong front, but her injuries were severe. The day that they posted this, I forget which day it was, but she underwent surgery to put metal pins in her back, making her even more metal than before, something that we didn't think was possible. We were told she will also have to be fitted with a halo and will not be able to walk for at least 6 weeks. We are not sure of the long-term implications of her injury. Thankfully, she is insured, but she will likely still face a huge challenge in the form of deductibles, inadequate physical therapy coverage, and loss of income due to inability to work her day job. So far, again, there has been no crowdfunding or no GoFundMe page set up, but we will be on the lookout for that if it does.
Yeah, they say in there specifically that they're considering it.
Yes.
So, and considering them and their successful with crowdfunding, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it, and
If it's very successful.
yeah, exactly. Now I have nothing this week for things I want.
Okay, I do.
Okay.
Here's what I want. I was going through, like, you know how Facebook does memories?
Yeah.
And I usually, when I see something that I really like, I post it and say, oh my God, I can't wait for this to happen. And I just want these guys, these sons of bitches, who tease me so harshly with these musical collaborations to actually come to fruition. I have two in mind here, because I posted these things to Facebook and they came up in my memories. One of them being a collaboration with Brian May and Tony Iommi.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one being the collaboration that was teased to me between Devin Townsend and Mikael Åkerfeldt from Opeth. I want these things. These are things I want.
I'm missing how these were teased to you.
It was teased like as in like I think specifically the Devin Townsend one and Mikael Åkerfeldt one was teased like via social media, like they were working together, like they actually talked about it. Like Devin Townsend said, like, you know, I'm writing this material, I'm thinking about working with Mikael Åkerfeldt. Like, this is stuff that was, you know, teased to me, you know, and this is years ago, like at least two.
You can't have this.
No, I can. I totally can, and I want it. It's shit I want. I'm sure the Tony Iommi Brian May thing, they've been talking about that for like 15 years, but still, there was like a specific article that hinted at it like being like an eventuality, not a possibility, but an eventuality, and it still hasn't come to fruition. So anytime that these guys tease me like this, I want these things.
In all fairness.
No, fuck you.
In all fairness.
Fuck you.
Devin Townsend and Mikael Åkerfeldt have worked together before on The Human Equation.
Yeah. Wasn't Devin Townsend the one that didn't even show up? Like, they sent him stuff?
He wrote his own stuff.
Yeah, he wrote his own stuff, and he just kind of sent it back via, like, you know, mail.
Yeah.
So they didn't really work together.
Yeah, they worked together.
Semantics. Still, things I want is fucking completion of these little fucking teases. Giving me blue balls.
They're gonna tease you to the end of days.
Blue balls forever. So you have nothing you want?
Nah, I couldn't think of anything this week. I tried to, like, while I was working at work today, I was like, I haven't thought of anything crap, but I was too distracted. So
Bummer. Okay, we are going into concert news. Ready for some festival news?
yes.
Zach Sabbath have been announced as the headliner for this year's The Power of the Riff Festival, which has been booked for August 31st at the Fonda Theater in Los Angeles, California. The Roxodus Music Festival, which was scheduled to take place July 11th through the 14th at Evendale Airport, which is 90 minutes north of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, has been cancelled. The 4-day event was slated to include headlining performances by Aerosmith, Kid Rock, Nickelback, and Lynyrd Skynyrd. Roxodus organizers announced the cancellation in a social media post earlier, Wednesday, July 3rd. They wrote, "During the past couple of months, our venue at Evendale Airport has battled tremendous rainy weather that has impacted our ability to produce the festival. It is with a heavy heart that we announce this cancellation of the Roxodus Music Festival this year. Our team has worked tirelessly to find a solution in which the show can go on, but unfortunately we cannot make it happen this year."
I'm just imagining, like, the entire place is, like, covered in mud,
like sinking mud, like they
Yeah.
came and built the stage kind of mud.
like the stadium. It's just
Burnt down, fell over, then sank into the swamp. All right. Creator has replaced Megadeth on the billing of the Santiago Get Louder Festival, which is scheduled to take place on October 6th in Santiago, Chile. Joining them at the event will be headliner Slayer, along with Anthrax and Chilean extreme metal pioneers Pentagram. Most of Megadeth's previously announced 2019 tour dates have been canceled as Dave Mustaine undergoes treatment for his recently diagnosed pussy throat cancer. Where is that pussy cancer anyway?
Yeah, cancer. You suck.
Exodus, Cataclysm, Battlecross, and more have been booked for this year's Slaughter Queue, which will be held at the Masquerade in Atlanta, Georgia on September 21st.
That sounds pretty badass.
Right? Hair in the Fair Festival.
What? That sounds like something you make up.
Hair in the Fair Festival, which was scheduled to take place July 11th through the 14th in Welland, Ontario, Canada. They have not been having any luck this particular weekend in Canada for festivals, because this one has been canceled as well. Organizers announced on Thursday that they were pulling the plug on the event, quote, due to financial hardship and extremely low ticket sales.
Yeah.
A message on the festival's official website reads, quote, we deeply regret this announcement as we were looking forward to a great event for all. In times of economic hardship, it is hard to regain stability to provide a properly executed event, unquote. Hair in the Fair was slated to include performances from a number of 1980s rock bands like LA Guns, Rat, Quiet Riot, Helix, Anvil, Svengali, and Warrant. Last month, several acts pulled out of the festival, including Vince Neil and Sebastian Bach, with Bach saying on social media that the cancellation was the result of the promoter not meeting contractual obligations.
That means you probably wanted money.
Probably.
But, like, 3 days of hair bands? No.
Yeah.
You do 1 day. Because nobody wants 3 days of hair bands.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted an entire decade of hair bands.
Yeah.
But we got it anyway, and yeah.
Yeah, extremely low ticket sales.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Alright, you ready for some touring news?
Real touring news?
Yes.
Okay.
Baroness have scheduled a new round of acoustic in-store performances around their summer tour. None here.
Of course.
Nile will embark on a European headlining tour in September. Support on the 25-date trek will come from Hate Eternal, Vitrol, and Homophagia. I want to stick with that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
When he's not busy touring and recording with Anthrax, Joey Belladonna plays drums and sings for a classic rock covers band called Chief Bigway. The upstate New York-based band, which also features Dave Mickelson on bass, Joe Precourt on guitar, and John Goodwin on keyboards, plays versions of songs from Journey, AC/DC, ZZ Top, Boston, Cheap Trick, Foreigner, Pink Floyd, Van Halen, Collective Soul, The Who, The Doors, Shinedown, and Bon Jovi, among others. Chief Bigway has scheduled several tour dates for the New York area over the coming months.
So definitely no San Antonio day.
Yeah, it's all New York, like upstate. I think they're performing on Long Island at one point. Cataclysm, Whitechapel, Flesh God Apocalypse, and Disintegrate. Oh, Discarnate? Discarnate, sorry, my bad. Comprise the bill of this year's edition of the annual European UK Metal MTV Headbangers Ball Tour.
They still have a Headbangers Ball tour, but not a show Headbangers Ball.
And you notice that's also just in Europe and UK.
Of course.
Dragon Force have announced new live dates in the United States, Canada, and Europe starting in the fall of 2019 and continuing through early 2020. None here.
That's how long it takes them to play one song.
So many notes.
So many notes.
So many notes. Slayer will set off on the, quote, the final campaign, the 7th and final leg of its farewell world tour. This last hurrah will start at the Explore Asheville Arena in Asheville, North Carolina, and see the band taking its goodbye bow at the Los Angeles Forum on Saturday, November 30th. William's birthday. Accompanying Slayer on this last ride are Primus, Ministry, and Philip H. Anselmo and the Illegals performing a vulgar display of Pantera. And they will be on all dates.
Right on. I mean, one of these shows is definitely going to end up being recorded for a Slayer DVD.
More than likely.
So.
More than likely.
I just like the combination of Slayer and Primus.
I know, that's so fucking great. That's so fucking great.
I don't know what the fans think of it, but I mean, that's a great combination.
No, I think Primus is one of those bands that everybody likes, or that they can just cross over genres like pretty easily. You know,
or they don't need to cross over genres. They're just weird enough that everyone kind of is drawn to them.
Yeah. But to see them like sandwiched in between fucking Ministry and Slayer, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
All right, Ghost has announced the fall 2019 European leg of the Ultimate Tour named Death. The trek will launch on November 16th in Nottingham, UK, and will end on December 19th in Toulouse, France. Support on the tour will come from All Them Witches and Tribulation.
I love that name, All Them Witches.
Right?
All Them Witches.
Witches, bitches.
All Them Witches is crazy.
I got that witch a cauldron. Witches love cauldrons.
Just move on. Just move on.
You're welcome. They see me growling.
You are on the worst roll today.
But you fucking love it and you know it. You just...
You're rolling into the muds of Canada right now.
Growling. Sonata Arctica will embark on the Raven Still Flies Over Europe tour in the fall. Support on the trek, which will kick off on November 11th in Stockholm, Sweden, will come from Edge of Paradise and Temple Balls. Big balls. Like, we're talking like temple balls here. I really want to know if that was like a typo. And like their name is actually Temple Bells. But one guy at Blabbermouth was like, no.
Temple Ball. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, you ready for one-offs? We got one-off here.
I don't know if I am, but
all right. Anyway, metal and comics will once again come together as one at the 50th anniversary of San Diego Comic-Con International, with a special live performance from Exodus. The intimate event, dubbed Bonded by Con, will take place on Thursday, July 18th at the House of Blues. This evening with Exodus is the official Nuclear Blast Comic-Con kickoff party sponsored by Court of the Dead, Stern Pinball, and Rebellion Republic. Stay tuned for more announcements from Nuclear Blast and everybody else involved for their booth number 501 coming soon.
They probably got a sweet booth. If they're going to have Exodus there, maybe they'll have Exodus signing stuff.
Right.
That'd be sweet.
And of course, the question, with any of these is Gary Holt going to be there? Yeah. And the answer is probably not, because he's got to finish this 7th and final leg of the farewell tour for Slayer. 7th and final.
Final, maybe. Almost.
Final, maybe. Except for all those one-off performances they do in festivals throughout the rest of their career.
And that tour they're doing with Temple Balls.
Balls. All right, you ready for some heavy metal in the charts? Probably not. But there are some noteworthy points here. Marilyn Manson and Hailstorm have new reason to celebrate with the revelation of new platinum and gold plaques headed their way. Marilyn Manson's cover of This Is Halloween from the 1993 film The Nightmare Before Christmas was certified gold by the RIAA on June 26th. Meanwhile, Hailstorm's hit single I Mr. Misery off their 2012 album The Strange Case Of has officially gone platinum as of June 28th. The track previously went gold back on December 14th of 2015.
Right on. Good for them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Although I don't think I've ever heard the Manson version of This Is Halloween.
It's actually really good. Really good. All right, are you ready for the top 200?
All right, for this.
I am disappointed in the world as a whole with the number one.
Okay.
It's an album called Indigo by Chris Brown.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Very disappointed. Like, why is he still able to do this? Considering, like, you know, what he's done.
Well, it's considering he's trash.
Yeah, just complete and utter trash. Yeah, this
Because people are ridiculous and
Yeah.
they like bad things.
yeah, just terrible. Terrible, terrible. Anyway, number 2, Lil Nas X. He's got an EP called 7. Number 3 is Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Number 4 is a new album by the Black Keys called Let's Rock. And number 5 is a new album from Chance the Rapper named Acid Rap.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we scroll.
Yes. Yes. We scroll. Diamonds by Elton John is at number 19, which is badass. Probably getting that bump from the Rocket Man movie still.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen. I still want to see. It's probably out of theaters by now, unfortunately. Anyway, Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack's at number 25. Number 25. And here we go. Creedence Clearwater Revival is at number 49. From 56 last week.
Let me just put some music to this.
Wow. Okay. A re-entry here at number 51 is the Best of Everything, which is Tom Petty and Heartbreakers. Re-entry at 51. Queen's Greatest Hits is at number 55. Journey's Greatest Hits, number 59. The new Bruce Springsteen record is at number 60. A re-entry from Santana, Africa Speaks, is at number 61. I have no idea what that is.
No idea.
Abbey Road is at 67. Yeah, this sucks. On fire with the clips today. Guns N' Roses' Greatest Hits at number 96. The all-time greatest hits of Lynyrd Skynyrd is at number 98. A re-entry at number 101 from Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Re-entry at 101. Back in Black is at number 119. Blah, 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 blah. Sublime, self-titled, 131.
Ah, fuck that.
Where's the Metallica record? Because I know that there should be I think they're above AC/DC usually.
It should be above Sublime.
Anyway, I guess I keep scrolling past it. Here's a re-entry out of nowhere at 149. Metallica's Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because of concert sales. Because they usually give their albums away when they sell tickets.
Probably.
The Hot Rocks Rolling Stone collection is at 161. Led Zeppelin Mothership is at 162. The Dirt soundtrack by Motley Crue has a re-entry at 169. Five Finger Death Punch of Decorated Destruction is a re-entry at 178.
Still got your 6.
Always got your 6.
Always got your 6.
The Rolling Stones album Honk is at 181. The greatest hits of Bon Jovi is at 182. The greatest hits of Hall & Oates. Okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Apparently, Tom York from Radiohead has a new album out called Anima, or Anima, whatever. It's a new album that debuts at number 187. Tom Tom York. Willie Nelson has a record out. I guess it's relatively new. Yes, it is. It was. It's been 2 weeks on the charts, and it was at 18 last week. And is at number 194 this week. A little bit of a nosedive.
Damn.
Closing out the number 200 spot here. At number 200 is a re-entry, the greatest hits 1974 to 1978 by the Steve Miller Band.
Nah. I really don't like Steve Miller.
All right, you ready to be disappointed in this one?
Yeah. Well, I already know what's gonna be at the top.
Yeah. Anyway, number 25 is the best Nickelback Volume 1. Apparently, they're expecting more volumes.
I'm surprised. Didn't that go down?
It was actually at number 23 last week,
Oh, it's going away.
which means it was probably a re-entry last week or the week before, whatever. Anyway, as a re-entry here is 3 Days Grace at 1X. Another re-entry here is Toxicity by System of a Down. We got the self-titled Rage Against the Machine album at 22. We have a re-entry of 10 by Pearl Jam.
Yeah, that one keeps coming back.
It's random. Meteora by Linkin Park is at number 20. All the Right Reasons, Nickelback is at number 19. Zeppelin 4, number 18. Experience Hendrix, The Best of Jimi Hendrix by Jimi Hendrix, 17. Greatest Hits 1, 2, and 3, The Platinum Collection is at number 16. But that's Queen, by the way. Foo Fighters, Greatest Hits, number 15.
Don't say it.
It's grown on up from number 17. Eat a dick. Alright, number 14 is the Greatest Hits by Three Doors Down. Number 13 is Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park. Number 12 is a re-entry, The Story So Far, The Best of Def Leppard. Number 11 is the Black Album. And this will be explained why it's not on the top 200, because it's below Aerosmith's Greatest Hits at number 10 and Bon Jovi's Greatest Hits at number 9. A Decade of Destruction, Five Finger Death Punch is at number 8. A re-entry, The Dirt soundtrack, is at number 7. Mothership, Led Zeppelin, number 6. Metallica's Hardwired to Self-Destruct is at number 5. Back in Black, Metallica, Back in Black, AC/DC is at number 4. Greatest Hits, Guns N' Roses, number 3. Greatest Hits, Queen, number 2. And Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack is at number 1.
That's right. They will never leave.
Nope.
Man, just look how happy he is.
Now that's either Freddie Mercury laughing in his grave or Brian May laughing all the way to the bank. Yeah.
Seriously. Or both. Alright, so I don't think we have a discussion point, so I think we're going to call it there because Warrior needs sleep. Badly.
Yes, for fucking real.
So until next time, I'm Dan Mack.
And this is Chris Mack.
And we are the Slime.